Once, long ago, in a land far away, there lived there 4 characters who ran through the main, looking for cheese to nourish them and make them happy. 2 were mine, named Sniff and Scurry, and 2 were little people, beings who were as small as mine, but who looked and acted like the people today. Their names were Ham and Hoa. Due to their small size, it would be easy not to notice what the form was doing, but if you look close enough, you could discover the most amazing thing. Every day, the mice and the little people spent time amazed, looking for their own special cheese. The mice, Sniff and Scurry, possessing only a simple old brain, but good instinct, searched for the hard-nibbling cheese they liked, as mice often do. The 2 little people, Ham and Hoa, used their brain, filled with many beliefs, to search for the believed kind of cheese, or the capital C, which they believed would be happy and successful. As different mice the little people were, they shared something common. Every morning, they each put on their jogging suit and running shoes, left their little home, and left out in the maze, looking for their favorite cheese. The maze was a lamp of corridors chamber. Some contained delicious cheese, but there were also dark corners where blind alley road nowhere. It was an easy place for any to get lost. However, the lost found a way. The ways held secret there enjoyed the little life. The mice, Sniff and Scurry, used the simple but tried melon cheese. They ran out one corridor, and different they turned their land on another. They remember cars with no cheese and quickly went to new areas. Sniff was smelled out the general direction of cheese using their great nose, and Scurry would raise her head. They got lost, as you might expect, with often long direction and often bumped into wall. However, the 2 little people, Ham and Hoa, had very complex brain. With their lives to motion, the mad life made more complicated and challenging. They realized no sophisticated finding cheese. Dependability, think belong. Their experience over the ability was sometimes clouded by the look they think. Eventually, in their one day, they all discovered what they were looking for. They each found their own cheese one day, at the end of one of the corridors in Cheese Station C. Every morning after that, the mice and little people dressed in their running gear and headed over the Cheese Station C. It was too long before they each started their own routine. Sniff and Scurry continued to wake early every day and race the maze, always following the same route. When they arrived at their destination, the mice took off their running shoes, tied them together, and hung them around the neck, so they could rally quickly whenever it would make them. Then they enjoyed the cheese. In the beginning, Ham and Hoa also raced to Cheese Station C every morning to enjoy the cheese more to them. But after a while, a different routine set in for little people. Ham and Hoa awoke each day a little later, dressed a little slower, and walked to Cheese Station C. After all, they knew what the cheese was now, then how to get there. They had no idea where the cheese came from or who put it there. They just assumed it was there. As soon as Ham and Hoa arrived at Cheese Station C, each morning they settled them and make themselves at home. They hang up their jogging suit, put on their running shoes, and put on their slipper. They were becoming very comfortable now with the cheese. "This is great," Hammond said. "There's no cheese here last forever." The little people felt happy, successful, and thought they were all secure. It wasn't long before Ham and Hoa regarded the cheese they found at Cheese Station C as their cheese. It was such a large story of cheese that they eventually moved their home to be close to and built a social life around it. To make themselves feel more home, Ham and Hoa decorated walls, sang, and even drew pictures of cheese around them, which then make them smile. One read, "Having cheese makes you happy." Sometimes Ham and Hoa will take their friends by to see their pile of cheese at Cheese Station C and point with pride. Say, pretty nice cheese, huh? Sometimes they share it with their friends, and sometimes they didn't. We deserve this cheese, Ham said. We certainly worked hard enough to find it. He picked up the nice fresh pigs and ate it. Afterward, Ham fell asleep, as often he did. Every night he little people would bring home full of cheese, and every morning they were confident to return for more. They swung quite some time. After a while, Ham and Hoa confidence grew into the arrogance and success. Soon they became comfortable. They didn't even notice what was happening. As time went on, Sniff and Scurry continued their routine. They arrived early each morning, and sniffed and scratched and scurried around Tree Station C, inspecting the area to see if there had been any change on the day before. Then they would sit down to nibble on the cheese. One morning they arrived at Tree Station C and discovered there was no cheese. They weren't surprised. Since Sniff and Scurry noticed the supply trees getting smaller every day, they were prepared for the inevitable, instinctive what to do. They looked at each other, moved the running shoes they tied together and hung convenient in the neck, put them on their feet, and lost their laced them up. The minds did not overanalyze. To the minds, the problem and the answer were both simple. The situation at Cheese Station C had changed, so Sniff and Scurry defied the change. They both looked out in the maze. Then Sniff, if his nose, sniffed and nodded his Scurry, took off running to a maze, where Sniff followed as fast as he could. They were quickly off in search of new cheese. Later that same day, Ham and Hoa arrived at Cheese Station C. They had not been paying attention to the small changes that took place each day, so they took off for granted their cheese would be there. They were unprepared for what they found. What? No cheese? Ham yelled. He continued to yell, no cheese? No cheese? As though if he shouted louder, someone would put back. Who moved my cheese? He hollered. Finally, he put his hands on hips, his face turned red, and he screamed at the top of his voice, "It's not fair!" Hoa just shook his head in disbelief. He, too, had counted on finding cheese at Cheese Station C. He stood there for a long time, frozen with shock. He was just not ready for this. Ham was yelling something, but Hoa didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to deal with what's facing him. He just tuned everything out. The little people's behavior was not very attractive or productive, but it was understandable. Finding cheese wasn't easy. It meant a great deal more little people having nothing to eat every day. Finding cheese was the little people's way of getting what they thought needed to be happy. They had their own idea was what cheese meant to them, depending on their taste. For some, finding cheese was having material things. For others, it was enjoying good health or developing a spiritual sense of well-being. For Hoa, cheese just meant feeling safe, having a loving family someday, and living in a cozy cottage on sheltered land. To him, cheese was becoming a big cheese, charge of others, and joining a big house topped Camembert Hill. Because cheese was important to them, two little people spent a long time trying to decide what to do. All they could think of was cooking around the cheeseless Station C to see if the cheese was really gone. While Sniff and Scurry were quickly moved on, Ham and Hoa continued to hem and Hoa. Hoa started to get depressed. What would happen if the cheese was there tomorrow? He amazed future plenty with the cheese. The little people couldn't believe it. How could this happen? No one assumed that wasn't right. That was not the way things were supposed to be. Ham and Hoa went home that night hungry and discouraged, but their food left. Hoa wrote on the wall, "The more important your cheese is to you, the more want to hold on to it." The next day, Ham and Hoa left their home and returned to Station C again, but they still expected to somehow define their cheese. The situation hadn't changed. Cheese was no longer there. Little people knew what to do. Ham and Hoa just stood there immobilized, like two statues. Hoa shut his eyes, tightly curled, and put hands over his ear. He just wanted to block everything out. Didn't know no cheese supply gradually been getting smaller. He believed they'd move. All of a sudden, Ham analyzed the situation over and eventually a complicated brain which used beliefs took hold. "Why did you do this to me?" he demanded. "What's really going on here?" Finally, Hoa opened his eyes, looked around, and said, "By the way, we are Sniff and Scurry. Do you think they know something we don't?" Ham scoffed. "What would they know?" Ham continued. "They're just simple mice. They just respond to what happened. We are little people. We are special. We should be able to figure this out." "I know we're smarter," Hoa said. "Wouldn't you think to acting smarter at the moment? Things change around here, Him. Maybe we need to change. He do something differently." "Oh, why should we change?" Ham asked. "We are little people. We are special. These sort of things not happen to us. Words does. We should at least get some benefit." "Why should we get that benefit?" Hoa asked. "Because we're entitled," Ham claimed. "Entitled to what?" Hoa wanted to know. "We're entitled to our cheese." "Why?" Hoa asked. "Because we didn't cause this problem," Ham said. "Somebody else did this, no should get something out of it." Hoa suggested, "Maybe we should stop analyzing the situation somewhat and just get going and find new cheese." "Oh no," Ham argued. "I'm gonna get to the bottom of this." Well, Ham and Hoa decided what to do. Sniff and Scurry were away. They went farther into flame, up and down covering, looking for cheese every cheese station they could find. They didn't think of anything else but finding new cheese. They didn't find any for some time, until they finally went to an area of the maze never been before. Cheese Station Inn. They squealed with delight. They found what they'd been looking for, a great supply of new cheese. They could hardly believe their eyes. It was the biggest store of cheese the mice had ever seen. In the meantime, Ham and Hoa with the cheese station to evaluating the situation. They were not suffering from the effect of having no cheese. They were becoming frustrated and angry, and were blaming each other for the situation they were in. Now and then, Hoa sorted his mice bill, Sniff and Scurry, and wondered if things found their cheese yet. He believed there might be a hard time, as running through the maze usually involves some uncertainty. But he also knew that it was likely to only last for a while. Sometimes Hoa would amazing Sniff and Scurry hiding new cheese and enjoying it. He thought about how good it would be for him to revive the adventure of the maze and find fresh new cheese. He could almost taste it. The more clearly Hoa saw it amazing himself finding and enjoying new cheese, the more I saw himself leaving Cheese Station C